All right, so here I want to find the value of 2 cosine x times sine of x minus cosine of x that will equal 0. So right away, what I see, I want to also not solve this in general, but for values in between 0 and 2 pi inclusive. So right away, I see that I can take out a cosine. So I can factor this one. And when I do that, I have a 2 sine of x left here and a minus 1 left here. So I'm just factoring out this cosine and this cosine. And when I do that, I get that basically 2 factors here. And I know from the zero product property that either cosine of x has to equal 0 or 2 sine of x minus 1 has to equal 0. I know that cosine of x on the unit circle equals 0 right here at pi over 2. That's where x equals 0 at that angle. So using that angle, I can say that x equals pi over 2. It's going to be one of my possible solutions. Here, if I add 1 to the other side, I get the 0 becomes a 1. And if I divide by 2, I get 1/2. And I know that sine of x equals 1/2. Right about here on this 30, 60, 90 degree triangle, where the angle here is pi over 6. So I also know that x equals pi over 6 is a solution. But since this is one of the solutions, I also know that there will be another solution over here in this quadrant where the angle is going to be, again, this is pi over 6 here, but we're going up from pi, so this is going to be 5 pi over 6 on this side. So 5 pi over 6 must be another solution, possible solution. I should always check to see if any of these are extraneous solutions. Okay, so let's check these solutions now. So here I have the function written. I want to plug in pi over 2, and I see that that equals 0. I also want to plug in pi over 6, and it equals this long number here. But again, that's the floating point decimal error. It's just showing it's basically round that number to 0. Same with 5 pi over 6, that equals 0. If you want to confirm pi over 6 is a solution on the graph, you type in x equals, and you can see that on the graph, it does show you that pi over 6 equals 0. Same thing with 5 pi over 6. If I go over here, and on the graph, 5 pi over 6 equals 0. Again, these should be rounded to 0. It's just a rounding error with Desmos. Came to me as I thought about why we had 3 solutions is that x also equals 0 right down here on the unit circle. So right down here at the unit circle, which is 3 pi over 2, should be another solution. So x equals 3 pi over 2 should be a solution that makes that function equal to 0. So let's just check that real quick. If I plug in 3 pi over 2, I see that the function also equals 0 there. So there was one more solution that I forgot, and it came to me as I thought about the unit circle.